Hey there, ocean lovers! Have you ever wondered why the tides rise and fall every day? Well, it's all thanks to our closest cosmic neighbor, the Moon. In this video, we will explore how the Moon's gravitational pull causes those amazing tidal shifts we see at the beach. Let's jump right in. The Moon might seem far away, about 384,400 kilometers from Earth, but its gravitational pull has a huge effect on Earth's oceans. That's because the Moon's gravity pulls the water toward it. Imagine it's like a giant magnet tugging at the water on Earth's surface. This pull creates what we call a tidal bulge. This bulge is what causes the water to rise, forming what we know as high tide. But wait, there's more. While the Moon's gravity is pulling on the water closest to it, the Earth itself also feels that gravitational tug. However, on the opposite side of the Earth, something interesting happens. On the opposite side of the Earth, there's another high tide. But why? It happens because the Earth itself gets pulled slightly toward the Moon, leaving the water behind and creating another bulge. This second bulge is a bit smaller, but it's still enough to cause a second high tide. Okay, so now we have two high tides on opposite sides of the planet. But what about the low tides? Well, the areas in between these bulges experience low tide because the water is being pulled towards the two bulges. These regions are essentially left with less water. As the Earth rotates on its axis, these high and low tides move around the planet. This is why most coastal areas experience two high tides and two low tides every 24 hours. Each tide cycle happens roughly every 12 hours and 25 minutes, so the timing of high and low tides changes slightly each day. Isn't it amazing that the Moon, even though it's so far away, has such a powerful influence on our oceans? But hold on. It's not just the Moon that affects our tides. The Sun also has a role to play. Even though the Sun is much farther away, about 150 million kilometers, it's also much bigger, meaning its gravity has an impact on the tides too. When the Sun and Moon line up, during a new moon or a full moon, their combined gravitational pull creates extra large high tides called spring tides. On the other hand, when the Sun and Moon are at right angles to each other during the first and third quarters of the lunar cycle, we get neap tides, which are much smaller than regular tides. This happens because the Sun's gravitational pull partially cancels out the Moon's effect. So, in summary, the Moon controls the rise and fall of our tides, with some help from the Sun. Every day, the Moon's gravity pulls the water towards it, creating high tides. And as the Earth rotates, these tides shift, giving us low tides in between. When the Sun and Moon team up, we get spring tides, which are huge waves. And when they're at odds, we get neap tides, which are smaller and calmer waves. The next time you're at the beach and see those waves rolling in, remember that it's the Moon and the Sun working together to create that magic. Thanks for joining me on this tidal adventure. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop a comment below if there's another wonder of the universe you want to explore next.